Hello and welcome to Impact. For the past 11 years, Sustainable Pittsburgh has co-hosted an annual event called the Smart Growth Conference. This year's conference is all about partnering for prosperity, business, and local government in Southwestern Pennsylvania. And joining me today to preview this important event is Court Gould, the Executive Director of Sustainable Pittsburgh, and Susan Hockenberry, the Executive Director of Local Government Academy. First of all, thank you for joining me today. And tell me exactly what's important about this particular conference. You've been doing it for a number of years now. What makes this one special?
Yeah, Jonas, this year's conference is making an important statement that our region organizes its prosperity around the business community, creating opportunity and employment, and local government. The way we organize our region of local government, creating communities where people want to live, work, and play. So symbolically, this event is presented by the Allegheny Conference on Community Development, the Local Government Academy, of which Susan is Executive Director, with Sustainable Pittsburgh bringing the overarching framework of sustainability as the glue that brings Southwestern Pennsylvania's prosperity and hope to the future together.
Susan, what do you see highlighting this partnership?
Well, the overlap between the business community and local government is in all walks of life. But in this conference, we're particularly focusing on transportation, green infrastructure, and financing for urban development and renewal of our local communities.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how do these issues impact the general public? But, you know, there you go.
Well, surely transportation is what makes our region tick, and the urban community in particular around Southwestern Pennsylvania, where the predominance of communities of color live and in many cases depend on public transportation for access to work. But not just communities of color, but everybody, whether we have a car or are dependent on the bus. Also the topic of green infrastructure, that is source reduction of stormwater and combined sewer overflows. It gets right down to clean water in our rivers, and it brings a social justice issue along with it. And the third topic being trying to level the playing field for redevelopment of our urban areas, both within the city of Pittsburgh and the county seats in the 10-county region. That is to make it as easy and facilitate redevelopment and development in the downtown areas as it is out in the suburban office parks.
It's a lot of subjects for one day. It's a full day of work. But in terms of redevelopment for urban areas, what do you see as the key to that?
Well, a complexity of state funding programs that could stand to have some simplicity added. Perhaps even a recommendation will be made at the event around comprising a new fund that's specifically targeted to urban redevelopment to help investors, to help community groups be competitive.
We have an animated logo of the event, full screen, that we can show. The event is Thursday, December 13th? Correct. And it's at?
The David L. Lawrence Convention Center, downtown Pittsburgh.
There you go. Nice, nice looking graphic there. That's very colorful. Listen, how many people do you expect?
Probably 250 will attend this year. And importantly, another announcement that will be made at the event is the creation of the Sustainable Business and Municipal Roundtable, a new venue for business and local government leaders to come together around pressing regional issues on our watch.
Susan, how important is it for local government to really be involved in a partnership like this?
Well, a local government touches every aspect of our region's activities, our citizens' lives. So local government being at the table with the business community, putting their heads together to solve these common problems is critical for the success of our region. Yeah,
and this is going on a number of years now, Court. How do you get to the point? I mean, I've attended several of them. They're very informative, and everybody has great ideas, but to get the commitment once you leave is something that probably still takes a little bit of work.
Indeed it does. So conferences are not a one-time event, but rather a catalyst for continued collaboration. And as I mentioned, the creation of this new roundtable for sustainable business and municipal leaders is going to focus on addressing the topic of financing green infrastructure for water source reduction to try and bring some more creative and nature-based solutions to holding upstream rainwater from downstream flooding problems and raw effluent running into our rivers. And as we know, Alcosan has a plan in response to the federal government's consent decree on the region that will be extraordinarily expensive for everyone, and there's a question of how we want those dollars to be spent.
Yeah, that's what I would add to that too, Jonas, is that we don't have the option of not acting on these issues. These are sort of make or break issues that are happening on our watch now, and we have to put our heads together and solve the challenges that we face relative to our water and our transportation and our redevelopment in front of us.
We've got about a minute left. What's the most important aspect that has happened in past conferences? Out of all the ones you've had, what's the most important item that has been brought up?
I'd say generally speaking, the business community, the local government community, the non-governmental, nonprofit community coming to agreement that the way our region plans and what we invest in is an expression of what we value. And we've had a positive influence in helping to insert into our region's investment strategies the principles of sustainability, of smart growth, of regional equitable development, and fix-it-first sensibilities for a region such as Southwestern Pennsylvania that is now on the rebound.
We're going to look at some information again on how you can attend and contact Sustainable Pittsburgh, the Smart Growth Conference, Thursday, December 13th. Registration's at 7:30 a.m. at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. You can call 412-258-6642 or go to sustainablepittsburgh.org. Wish we had more time, but we'll follow up on this. You know that.
Thank you, Jonas.
Thanks for coming on.
You bet.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Jonas.
That's Impact for this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.